Hello, Bedrock members. Sorry to bother you this late in the evening, but this might become a regular event because of the ongoing situation with the benefits that are supposed to be available to small business owners. And if you know me, if you've been following me, if you've been watching and reading what I've been posting here, me and a bunch of my associates have been trying to stay as up to date on this information as possible. And as you could see, it's a real moving target. And tonight, I am not going to be talking about the SBA loan packages for a change. Okay, I don't even want to go there right now. That's another topic all in itself. Okay, tonight, what I want to address for you is the ongoing battle that people have had to try to apply for unemployment insurance, which seems like a pretty simple task. Normally, and this isn't normal times, but normally people that are working, people that are employed with a job, that lose their job because of lack of work or whatever, they're seasonal. There's a whole bunch of reasons why people lose their jobs. They go online in the state that they live in, and normally you apply for unemployment benefits. And normally the system is set up to take information based on who you worked for before. Okay, it goes back 18 months, and you're supposed to have your employer's name and address, and then you have to know how much they paid you, and you submit the information, and they either reject you or accept you. And if they reject you, you can appeal. And sometimes the information doesn't match, and then there's a whole reconciliation. But the question came up with, how are they going to calculate unemployment insurance for self-employed people? And that includes sole proprietors. These are people that never got a salary. If you're a sole proprietor, by definition, you are self-employed. You don't get a W-2 form. And then you have the other class of people that maybe are incorporated or have an LLC and are taxed as corporations and actually take a salary from the business. Because normally, even those people, if you had an S Corp or a C Corp and you took a salary and business went down and you had to technically lay yourself off because there just wasn't enough money to pay yourself, you didn't qualify for unemployment. It was cut and dry. It was cut and dry. What the government said was, hey, you're in business. You chose this path. Your job is to go out and get more business. If there's not enough business, tough. Go somewhere else and complain. Well, now they continue on this journey of making promises that they can't keep for whatever reason. But what they did was they said that people were going to be qualified for unemployment. And this really pisses me off, people, I have to tell you, because time and time again, over the last 6 weeks, however long this has been going on, the government has been making promises and not fulfilling them. It's one thing to make a promise, and it's another thing to not keep it. Do not make a promise that you cannot keep, and don't keep doing it time and time again. So what they said was, oh yeah, self-employed people can now qualify for the first time in history. Act now before supplies run out. You can apply for unemployment. So what is somebody like me supposed to do? I'm telling my clients to apply for unemployment. And what they hit was a freaking brick wall. They hit a brick wall. They couldn't get online. They couldn't apply. I was telling people to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning and try to get online. I even tried myself. And guess what? I couldn't get online. I got to the point where I should have been able to apply, but the form wasn't there. So what is somebody supposed to do that's trying to put food on their table for their family, that is trying to make ends meet and pay their mortgage, pay their rent, keep their cell phone going? The government put hope into people that they were going to be there. And honestly, they have not been. They have not been because, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to share this information with you because finally, they are coming clean with what the truth was. Okay? And the truth was that the system was not designed to be cutting checks, to be processing millions and millions of claims in such a short period of time. Well, thank you, Mr. Government. Thank you. Thank you for telling us what is so freaking obvious. Thank you for finally saying that, hey, we need to start a new system. We weren't prepared for this. But don't worry, it'll be up by April 28th. It'll be up by April 28th. So I am going to share this link with you that a client emailed me today saying, what is this? I've already told her where she stands and her family stands with the unemployment. Unfortunately, they don't qualify. Fortunately for them, they're still in business. They haven't missed a beat, but they need to know what is going to go on. What if business goes down? What are our options? Well, I'm going to share some of this with you, and I don't want to go on because I can go on for all night about this, and I'll be ranting, and I'm not happy about this. And believe me, it has nothing to do with my situation. Luckily, my business hasn't been affected that badly now. Some of my clients' businesses have been affected, which there's a ripple effect, towards me, but I'm not complaining. Okay, I'm not complaining. It's the last thing that I want people to think. What irks me is that they put people like me in a position to try to help my clients, try to help anybody who's out there asking for this information. And they left us in a quandary. They left us having to say, I don't know. And I don't like saying, I don't know. Okay, so going forward, and if you've been following me, if you know me, I take whatever they say with a grain of salt. I like Cuba Gooding's Jr.'s saying and Jerry Maguire, show me the freaking money. Don't keep promising that we're going to give you this check and you're going to put it back into the economy and then have us sitting there waiting. And not me, my clients, my friends, my family, the people that are voting for you, politicians that are making these claims, these promises. And if you've been following me, I have been advising people, do not count on the government. If they come through with something, fine. But in the end, people, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to find the way. You got to look in the mirror and say, how am I going to solve this problem? The government's going to give you a Band-Aid. Now, the unemployment was a nice big size Band-Aid. And now I'm finding out that the people that I'm trying to help, the people that already applied, I don't even know what to tell them right now. It's back to the drawing board. I'm going to share this link with you in the chat box, and this is from the state of California. And let me tell you, kudos to the state of California because as far as all of this stuff goes, from the health standpoint to, uh, California seems like they have been more on top of stuff than any other state. Okay, now I'm from New York. I love New York, but I'm looking at results here, folks. And the results overall from the government have been less than adequate. Okay, less than adequate. I don't care what bills they passed. I have still yet to see a single client that has had an SBA application processed, let alone approved. Forget about the checks in the mail. They haven't even said, hey, we got your application, we're processing it, we have a couple of questions. They didn't even get to that point yet. Okay? And the $10,000 advance payment, which I've been saying was a crock of crap from the beginning, well, guess what? It is a crock. Now it turns out that the $10,000 advance payment is based on the number of employees that you have. So they made it seem like, and I said this from the beginning, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. They made it seem like all you had to do was apply and you were going to get $10,000 magically deposited in your bank account within 3 days. 3 days. I've applied for plenty of those applications, people, and I have not had one of my clients even get a response. Okay? So I'm going to say this one more time. Do not count on the government to save your business. It ain't going to happen. It ain't happening. You are going to have to hunker down, think outside the box, pivot, whatever you got to do to get through this time. But when the dust settles, and it will settle, the people that are going to wind up stronger are the ones that are taking action now, not waiting for the check to come from the government. Because as you can see, folks, the results speak for themselves. The results speak for themselves. The $1,200 check that I had spent, 3 weeks ago, it just hit my account today. Today was supposed to be there by April 3rd. Okay, so here's the deal with the unemployment thing, as it was communicated from the state of California. The CARES Act, okay, this massive bill that usually takes years to negotiate and work out all the details, had in it what they called this pandemic unemployment assistance. Okay, it would have been nice if they communicated this to us the same way they communicated the bogus $10,000 advance payment. It would have made it a lot easier for a lot of people, including me. So what does the letter say? I mean, if you want to read it, I'll tell you in a nutshell. Basically, they say, hey, remember those unemployment insurance benefits we told you that you were going to be qualified for? For all of you self-employed people, sole proprietors, and people that were never employed before, but are able and willing to work and will be looking for a job. But let's see. Okay, they say PUA. Now, this is the new initials I have to learn. PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. This is the bullet points of who's eligible. Business owners, self-employed individuals, and independent contractors. Well, here's one of the things that drives me crazy. If you're self-employed, if you're an independent contractor, well, guess what? You're a freaking business owner by definition. You own a small business. If you're getting a 1099, if you're an independent contractor, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. If you're self-employed, if you're getting a 1099, it's going on your Schedule C on your personal tax return. Okay? I don't understand who writes this stuff up, but whoever it is needs some editing guidelines because they got on 3 different bullet points they're describing the same exact type of individual. We are all small business owners. Okay, I don't care if you want to say I'm an independent contractor, I'm a 1099, I'm self-employed. The bottom line is you're a small business owner. You're one of the 25 million solopreneurs in the United States out of 30 million businesses. Okay, and this is another thing that really ticks me off, folks, and I learned this a long time ago. And I need to share this with you so you understand the mentality of the government. Okay, the Small Business Administration classifies a small business as having up to 500 freaking employees. 500. I don't know about you, but a company that has 25 employees is pretty big. You know, not many people get to even 5 employees, a small percentage out of the 30 million. And I could come up with the percentages and stuff, but it always irked me. It always irked me that they are going to put me, a solopreneur, in the same category as a business with 499 freaking employees. There's something fundamentally wrong with that, people. And I think it's time that we started saying something about this. We are a different class of businesses. We don't belong lumped together with somebody with even 20 employees. We don't belong. We need to have our own freaking category. We need to have our own classification because there's over 25 million of us, people. I learned this about 25 years ago when I started getting SBA loans for clients. And at the time I thought they were great. Hey, we can get, money, that's guaranteed from the government, blah, blah, blah. So I looked up, who would qualify for, small businesses. Wow, what a great deal. And then I got the shock of my life because if I had a client that had up to 499 employees, I could apply for a small business loan. And that blew my mind. And it blows my mind today because I see what's happened. I see the result of this phony way to classify businesses. And if you don't think it's a big deal, it is now. It is now because this is what's happened. This is what happened. They came up with these SBA programs for small businesses. Okay, think about this. For small businesses. But when I crunched the numbers, these two programs that they designed for small businesses, the payroll protection program and the economic injury disaster loan for small businesses, don't even make a dent in the problem that my clients are having. If they qualify, most of them don't. So who is this benefiting? Who is this benefiting? Okay, so I got a call from a friend of mine who's an investment banker, and he said, "Oh, great news. Your friend who knows the president of the bank just bailed us out. We're getting one of those paycheck protection programs. Our payroll is 100,000 a month. They got 100,000 a month in payroll. And guess what? I got the payroll protection program form right here. You take the 100,000, you multiply it by 2.5, and they're going to qualify for 250,000 in forgivable loans. What does a sole proprietor do? What does a sole proprietor do that their business is zero now? And they never took a salary. And now they're trying to apply for unemployment and they can't even get online. Okay, I think it's time for the charade to stop. They got to stop calling these businesses small. And they got to make a new classification for solopreneurs. That's the bottom line. And I'm not running for office. I'm not qualified. And I wouldn't even vote for myself, folks. But we're at a tipping point here. And I'm pissed off and I'm tired of not saying anything. We need to start talking about this because it's not going away. You know, we, the solopreneurs, are the freaking backbone of this economy. It's not Walmart. It's not Amazon. It's not Google. It's us. We're the people that are buying the stuff from these companies. Okay? And now when it comes time for our turn, for us to get the small business loans, we're not qualified. But they hold this freaking carrot out there for us. Okay, and I am sick and tired of it. I am sick and tired of it. Okay? So here's the deal, people. When it comes to the unemployment, I am going to go through this I'm going to be searching like it's a needle in a haystack because that's what it is. I'm going to be going through every freaking state. I'm going to put together a list. I'm going to do everything in my power to try to figure out how to navigate this freaking crazy system. Okay? So that I could maybe help somebody actually apply for the benefits that they were promised and actually see the money in their goddamn accounts. So what this letter says, in effect, is no, because this is a brand new program, each state will need time to develop all of the necessary system programming, forms, processes, procedures, etc. I'm going to cut this and I'm going to put it right in the chat box here. And I'll tell you again, if you don't know it by now, I am pissed off, people. And this has to end. Because it would have been nice. It would have been nice for the people in power to say, you know what? We want to get you guys all the money as we can. But we're going to need time. We're going to need time to fix our systems to accommodate you. Don't make people go rushing to apply for a $10,000 forgivable grant that doesn't freaking exist. Don't tell people that they can apply for unemployment when they can't. And you should have known that they can't. No, all you did was you made people frustrated, more angry, and that does not bode well for anybody. So if you're a small business owner and you're trying to get this unemployment insurance and you're having a hard time, I invite you to connect with me. You go to timewithjoe.com and I will do anything that I can to help you. And if my schedule is booked, you can email me at joe@bedrockbusinessbuilders.com. I'm going to post my links in here. And please, if you need help, reach out to me. Do not try to book an appointment to pitch me anything because I will weed you out. Okay, I know if somebody's going to be trying to pitch me. So if you book an appointment, you're going to get a response from me, and I'm going to ask you certain questions, and those will be the questions that I will answer during our chat. Okay, I don't have time to mess around, people. I'm sorry. I'm from New York. I'm a little rough around the edges. I don't beat around the bush. I want solutions, not for me. I want solutions for my friends, for my clients. And I'm tired of being pushed around I feel like they are bullying us. They're pushing us around and saying, here, we're going to give you this. We're going to give, if you just be a good little boy or a good little girl and you stay in your room, when I call you out, we'll give you dessert. I'm sorry, folks, but that doesn't cut it anymore. Okay, I'm going to stick with what I've been saying all along. If you're entitled to the benefits, apply for them as soon as possible. Okay, and if you're entitled to them, don't stop there. If you're in business, you got to start thinking about the solution. What can you do differently? You know, there's people out there that are prospering. There's businesses out there their businesses are going through the roof. They got money that they never had before. Okay? They're out there if you look for them. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, where there's chaos, there's opportunity. And unfortunately, there's a shitload of opportunity out there now. All you got to do is look for it. If you look hard enough, if you have the right intentions, it'll come to you. All you got to do is have some faith, have some tenacity, and it'll happen. It's not going to be easy. It never is. It's never easy to start a business and stay in business. But in today's world, you can multiply that 10 times. Okay? So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. I'm going to post my contact info here. Go to timewithjoe.com. I'm not pitching anything. I don't have anything to pitch. I am here to just hopefully give you some information that will, help you navigate these waters and get the money that you're entitled to. Get the money that they promised you. Okay? And I am here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still stuck in my apartment like most people are. And I'm not going anywhere for a while now. So God bless you. Thank you. Good night.